Yeah, cool, we
Okay.
can get started.
Yeah. Okay, so hi everyone. Thanks for coming to the Personal Website Development Workshop. Um, I'm Ankita, so I'm the head of the Web Development Committee at WeHack, which is UTD's first all-women non-binary hackathon coming up this October on October 10th and 11th.
And I'm Katie. I'm the VP of Internal Affairs at SWE, and I also made the SWE website, so I really enjoy web development.
Hmm. You want to take this one, Katie?
Yeah, sure. The slides, okay, there it goes. Yeah, so you might be wondering what's the point of having a personal website? So the best part is you can show off all of the projects you've worked on. Obviously, on your resume, you just have, a few lines per project and a maximum of like 3 projects. Whereas when you have a website, you can include all of the projects you've worked on, and you can also include screenshots and demos and a list of everything you used. So that's kind of why I like having a website. I include a screenshot just off of mine, and you can see, like, I kind of write like a paragraph for each of my projects, which you definitely don't have to do, but I like doing that because it lets me expand on what exactly my role was in the project and things like that. But yeah, I also make sure to include screenshots because when you just include a link to the GitHub or something, they aren't able to actually see your project in action. They have no idea if the code works. So that's another thing you can include that you can't really put on your resume is proof that it works and getting to show them. If you have a demo, you can link to that. And it just lets recruiters and other people who want to see your projects actually get a taste for what the project was beyond just looking at your GitHub and things like that. It also helps you create your personal brand. So everyone's resumes kind of look the same, right? It's all just a white sheet with black text. Having a website lets you have fun with it and show off your personality a lot more. You can, choose the color scheme and the design, and things like that just make it more personal, I think. Like, yeah, that's in my opinion. If a recruiter is able to click on a link on your resume and go to your website, and they see kind of that personality, I feel like it just will help you stand out a lot more rather than just everybody who submits their resume. Just gives you that personal touch. And then of course you get more visibility. So on if you've been applying to internships, I'm sure you've seen that little slot in the application where you can put in a website. So this is what you would put there. And it's definitely a very common thing that they ask for. And having that something to fill in there just helps you again stand out over everyone else in the applicant pool. And I linked my website everywhere. I put it on my GitHub, my resume, cover letter, all of that. So to maximize the chance that they'll actually see it, because it will definitely help improve your chances if they get to see all of the projects you've worked on and again just see your personal brand shine through.
Yeah. And so with that, let's get started. So just kind of an overview of what we will be doing. Um, if you don't have a GitHub account, you don't need a GitHub account, but it would be better to follow along like if you do. So maybe you can like sign in with Google, and then we'll just be going over how to fork and clone a repository and then like edit it. And then you can, so we have like a template and you can customize it and then publish it on your own. So to get started, sign into your GitHub if you already have one, or just make an account. It's really fast. And then if you haven't already, install Git. And so we will put this link in the chat too. I wonder if I can spread it. Yeah. And so click that link and then just hit download. It shouldn't take too long. And then if you already have Git installed, you can go ahead, and the link is in the chat too, but fork this repository. So once you click the link to the repository, it will bring you to this page. And to fork it, you just click this fork button that's on the upper right-hand corner. So I'm just gonna give everyone a little bit of time to do that. Again, fork is up here.
Yeah, and if you ever have any problems, just send a message in the chat so we can help you out. We want to make this interactive and not just us, going through the tutorial.
Yeah, and if at any point one of us is going too fast, just let us know and we can slow down. But yeah, if you're done with those steps, just kind of send done in the chat so I can just see if like a majority of the people have it done.
Okay, you're fast, Jessna. Okay, good.
Good.
Yeah, so once you fork it, you can clone it to your local. So if you know how to use git command line, that'd be git clone and then the address of your repository. So that would
Yeah.
be the best thing to do.
So to clone the repository, there's a green like code button right here. And then you can like select this link and copy it. And then, so we want to be a little bit more organized and put this repository, oh, it's not letting me bring my command line to the other screen. But if you have a Mac, just look up terminal and then open that, or just open the command line on Windows. And then you'll see your name and like a $sign. And so when you get to that point, type cd space documents. So this is going to go in your documents folder. And so I will send that command in the chat
Oh yeah, I just sent it
too.
too.
Okay, yeah. And then I think like even if you're on Windows, it should be the same command too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I can double check. But that's just so you don't, lose where you save the files to, because
Yeah.
we're gonna need to open them up and edit them.
Mm-hmm. And so after you do that, the $sign that you saw like next to your name, you should be in like the documents folder, so it should say documents before the $sign. So yeah, just put done in the chat when you're done with that step.
Cool.
Okay. And then after that, you want to clone the repository. Yeah, so it'll be git clone and then you paste the URL.
Do you have Git installed, Abigail? Because that might, if it's not working, you might not have Git installed. Yeah. So that first link, I can send it again to download Git. You would have to do that before you can clone the repository. Yeah, so if you go to that link, you can download Git. And yeah, but if you don't want to download it, you can also just, rather than cloning, you can download the files as a zip. You can see that on her screen now. But the downside to that is it makes it harder for you to push up your code once you make changes. So it's better if you can do it through the command line with clone.
So yeah, I have my terminal up on the screen too. And so, okay, right. Yeah. And so once you do git clone and then you paste the URL to the repository, it'll start cloning it. And so it will create a folder called portfolio-workshop in your documents folder. And so to check if it did that, you can just open up your folder, and then I'm sure that somewhere in here will be, yeah, portfolio workshop. Okay, so after we do that, now we're going to open the index.html file within that folder and start editing it. So if you have like a text editor, you can use that. Or if you have an IDE, like Visual Studio Code or like any program that helps you edit your code, just go ahead and open that up. Or you can open up Notes or like Notepad, and that would work too. And so you're just going to go to File and then Open. And you're going to open that portfolio workshop folder that we just cloned. So that's going to be in your documents. Here we go, portfolio workshop. And then you can see all the contents of the folder on the side. And so we want to open up index.html.
Yeah, and are there any more questions? Is anyone stuck on anything?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, for some reason I don't see chat in my. I'm external to UTD. Probably it's not enabled for me. I'm not sure. I don't see any chats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for me, there's like a chat icon in the top of my screen, you click on that to open it, but I'm not sure if it's different if you're not in the UTD system. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can definitely just unmute and ask as well.
Okay, thank you.
And were you able to get those links? Because we did send those in the chat, so.
Actually, no, I didn't have time. I'm just observing right now. I guess
Oh,
you
okay.
guys will publish. You will publish this video, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
I
we
will
will.
just look again.
Okay.
Thank you.
So after we clone, so you open up an IDE or like a text editor like Notepad or Notes on Mac, and then you're going to go to File, Open, and then you go to the clone folder. So if you followed the previous step and you cloned it in the Documents folder, you're going to find the Portfolio Workshop folder under Documents. And so then you just click it and you click Open, and then you can open up that folder. And once you open the folder, click on index.html because this is the like the code we're going to be editing for the website. So assuming that most of you have index.html open, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start customizing this file. And so what we're going to do is basically go through the file. And if you want to see here, yeah, let me just show you what it looks like right now. So if you go to your folder where you cloned it, and you go to index.html, and you right click on it, there's like an open with option. And so you can open with whatever your favorite browser is. So I'm going to open it with Chrome. And then it's going to open up what the web page looks like right now. And so right now, this is like T-Mock's personal website. He has his resume linked over here. And when you click it, it opens his resume in another tab. And then if you scroll down, you can see all the sections that are part of the web page. And so what we're going to be doing basically is customizing it. So wherever it says T-Mock, you can put your name and you can change these descriptions and even like the colors and everything to the page. So do we have any questions there?
Yeah, and like tell us if you guys are caught up too, like because it's hard for us to tell where you guys are at with not being able to see anyone. So if you guys are like caught up, maybe you could just send a little message, like a smiley face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you. The project folder. So if you did CD documents at the beginning, then it'll be in your documents folder, and then the folder itself will be called Portfolio Workshop. So right here for me. Oh, perfect.
Now the smiley faces are starting to creep me out a little. I don't like that one. Like, why is it? It's eyes. Not a fan.
Yeah, the eyes are just like the black. So yeah, so now that we know like what the website actually looks like, we can go ahead and start editing the code. And so right here we have the title of the page. And so that will not be visible like on your website, in like the main part of your website, but it's like what the tab is called, the title of your page is. So at the top of your index.html document, just change like Tmock's personal website to like, you can name it your personal website or just put your name. Just like change it however you want. So I'm gonna put my name there. And then there's a lot of sections to this page, and I would definitely recommend taking more time to kind of understand what like each of these components do. But for the sake of this workshop, we're just gonna look at the comments and kind of zoom. Everything falls under that. So this section is for the navigation bar. And so the navigation bar is basically the bar at the top, which helps you like go to different sections and skip to select sections on the website. And so if you edit that part of the code, it's going to edit the navigation bar. And so if you scroll down a little bit to under the navigation bar section, there's like a masthead. And so that one is what we see here. It says Tmock's page. And so if you change it to like name, so yeah, once you change it to your name, go ahead and just save that. And then if you still have like the window open for wherever you like open the index.html file, you can just refresh and then the changes pop up on that page like as soon as you refresh. But just to kind of go back, because I know maybe you accidentally like closed a tab or something, you find index.html in the portfolio workshop folder that you cloned, and then you just double click it. You can click open and it will open with your default browser, or open with and then select your favorite browser, and then you will see this web page. So any questions there?
Yeah, and if you guys are kind of at this point, if you're all caught up, you can send the party emoji. Yay!
Oh, that's cool. And so,
And yeah, if you could, go ahead.
for reference, the line that said Tmock's page was line 75, so it'll most probably be the same for you too.
And yeah, I was just gonna say, if you guys are brand new to web development, this is just written in HTML, so that's most commonly used for creating websites. So this index.html is where you define all of your headings and things like that. So whenever you see like H1, that means it's the heading. If you see P, it's a paragraph. So it's just some simple markup language used for web development. And then it's customized. This particular template is customized with some JavaScript, and then the styling is done with CSS.
Yeah, so Abigail, to open the index.html file, you just go to the folder that you cloned, you go to index.html, and then you right click, and then just click open, and it will open your web page in a tab on the browser that you select. Imagine.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing what Aditi said. I would recommend putting your own resume in there. You want to do the best you can to market yourself and not TMOC, even though we do love TMOC.
A pretty strong resume to me. Got that work
Yeah.
experience.
I think shows isn't supposed to have an apostrophe there.
Huh?
I
Oh,
don't think, I'm pretty sure it's just supposed to be show S. So the one suggestion I would make to improve this resume would be to check for spelling errors. But other than that, this is the perfect resume.
yeah, T-Mock got that job.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so I'm just gonna move on a little bit for those who have caught up. And so you can go through the resume, or not resume, go through the index.html file yourself and kind of see where the text is. If you opened it up in an IDE, it would be like a different color. Or if you just want to change like wherever tmock is to your name, just do like Control F and then look up tmock. And then, oh wait, or I think it's Control R for replace. Nope. Well, I don't remember what the replace command was, but there's a replace command too that you can use basically. So wherever it says tmock, you can replace it with your name, or just go ahead and manually do it. And then if you look at line 91, and so this is where tmock's resume is linked. And so if you look at all the contents of the folders, you see that there's like a PDF of tmock's resume. And so if you have a PDF of your own resume, you can drag it into the folder that we cloned, and it's going to show up here. Oh, Control H. Okay. Let me try it really quick. I don't know if that's the same with Mac. Oops, I don't know what I did. Okay, I'll take your word for it because I don't know what I'm doing, like why it's not working for me. But yeah, so go ahead and like if you have your resume, you might as well just do it right now and drop your resume here. I will actually do that just to show you. Oh, there we go. Yes, yeah. You can just replace tmock with your own name, and then if you just press enter, it does that. Oh, but the only problem with doing that is that the link to tmock's resume and maybe like the image, it also has his name in it. And so you just want to change the text and not any of the links. But you would be able to see that anyways as you're doing it. But that's just something to look out for.
yeah, and once you guys, have customized the basic things, if you're more advanced and have more experience with web development, you can also look into changing some of the styles, like the coloring and things like that. If you want to have more personalization, so we don't have a million members with the same website. But if you wanted to, like, for example, look into changing the styles, that would be in the CSS. The CSS folder has all of the styles. Yeah, the armies feasters. I just feel like companies, they start, I feel like I've seen this website before. But if you look at like the freelancer.css, it has like a list of all of the colors being used in this. So you can look into customizing things like fonts, colors, all of that in there. Just if you've already like customized it, if you're fast.
Yeah, and so let's say you add your own. If you add it just directly into this folder and it appears right there, you can just put the name of the file, like the name of your resume, and then it'll just change the link on your website. And so when you click this button, it'll open your resume instead of tmock's.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I've always heard with your resume, you want to save it with your first and last name in the file name, because if recruiters download it onto their computer, if it's just called resume, it'll probably get mixed in with a bunch of them. That's just like small thing I've heard before, so keep that in mind too.
Yeah, that's a good tip. And so if you look at line 120 and 123, that's where the descriptions are in the About section. And so if you scroll down, yeah, there's like 2 mini paragraphs right here. And so you can just kind of put like, oh, I'm, I don't know, a computer science student at the University of Texas at Dallas. You know, what you enjoy doing. Like I create apps or I design websites, something like that.
Yeah, and typically on your resume, you kind of stay away from putting things like that kind of personal things on your resume, but your website is definitely a place where you can talk about, oh, I enjoy doing this, even if it's not specifically like tech related. It's just where you can have more fun. It's just less formal than a resume, I would say. So I know people will say like, oh, don't include things like, oh, I enjoy this hobby, but your website is where you can put things like that.
Yeah, feel free to be quirky, you know, that'll
Yeah.
catch their viewers' attention too. And so you'll notice that there's some other like images, like image tags, that's what these are. And there's going to be like links to image. And so when you don't see like just the name of the document or the name of the image and you see kind of like a path, that's because it's located in one of these folders. And so it looks like the image that's in portfolio item 1. So I guess portfolio item 1, I'm guessing, is the first image that you see in the portfolio section. It's located in image, and then as we can see in the path, it's located in portfolio. And then these are the images that are inside the portfolio folder. And so I would recommend changing these images to something related to the projects you're planning to list. So this looks like a good place to kind of put information about your projects, and then maybe you could link each image to like a PDF about the project, or you know, you can kind of customize it however you want that way. And so all you would do is just drag the image in this same folder if you kind of want to keep the same path, and then just change the last part to whatever your image is called. And on a high level, that's basically how you can start customizing it, just to kind of get your name on there, get your resume and your projects. And then, yeah, and so obviously you would change like the address and stuff too. And then if you wanted to change like the colors or like the fonts on the website, that's where you would go in and you would edit this CSS file, which basically has all the fonts and the colors, and like everything stylistic is defined in this file. Does it contact me person anything? That is a good question. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go to the contact me section right now and take a look at it. Hmm. Oh,
I think, is it just, well, I should probably double check. It might just link to where you send a website, or sorry, an email. I'll double check first though.
to configure the contact form email address, go to mail, mail. Yeah, in the comments it has like directions on how to like update your email address. So I think if you go here to this contactme.php file, um, the message. So I'm guessing you would put your email right here, and then it would send to your email.
Okay, yeah, because that part has to be written in. Wait, was that JavaScript? Normally, oh yeah, PHP. Okay, yeah. Normally, I know I had to make a contact form before, and it was confusing. But yeah, that looks like it's all set up as long as you just put your email in there. Yeah, you need the PHP. So you can follow the directions in the comments. If you're not quite there yet, you can also do that. Later, it shouldn't be too hard because you just have to change that one part of the email. But
And so you can always go back and like keep editing this file and then like seeing what the changes look like when you test it out in your selected browser. But we're gonna go ahead and show you how to actually like publish those changes. And so you're gonna go back to your terminal or your command line if you're on Windows, and you're gonna go move into, right now we're in the documents folder, and so you wanna move into the portfolio workshop folder. So you're gonna do CD, which is change directory, and then portfolio website is what the folder is called, I'm pretty sure. Nope, let me check.
if you type ls, you can see.
Oh, workshop. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was portfolio workshop. So
yeah, you can also, I just paste in the chat. If you're not already in the documents folder, like if you had completely closed out your terminal, you'd have to go CD documents and then CD portfolio workshop.
and then you should see portfolio workshops instead of documents after you run that command. And so like any sort of emoji or something in the chat once you finish that step.
I'm not seeing any emojis. Do you guys need help?
Yeah, we got you. Literally just unmute yourself if
Yeah.
it's too much to type.
Yeah, doing workshops is a lot easier in person because you can see when people are confused and like, okay, I see a winking emoji. Hopefully that's a good wink. Okay, smiley face. That's good. Ah.
Oh, no worries. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm seeing interaction now. Awesome.
And yeah, like I said, you can always go back and edit it. So like even when you complete the steps that we're about to do, which is like pushing the changes, you can always go back and customize it more and then follow these steps again, and it'll be the same process. So I'm just gonna move on from here. So let's just make sure you're in the portfolio workshop folder in your terminal or command line, and then we're going to basically, like I said, like push these changes to GitHub. And so the repository that you forked, it's going to save your changes to that repository. So the first command that you also see on the slides is git add, and then space and period. And then you just hit enter, and nothing will really come up, so it's kind of hard to confirm, I guess, that it went through, but as long as you don't get any errors, it's fine.
Yeah, and that dot just means you're adding all of the files that have been changed. Like you could technically put like git add index.html. If you're wondering why you need the dot there, the dot just tells them any file that you've changed is going to be added now to your commit.
And then the next command is going to be git commit, as you might have guessed by looking at the slides. And so once you do that, you're going to come to like a different window. And so basically this is where you put, like it says in the comments, like this is where you put the message for your commit. So if multiple people were working on this project, which is totally possible thanks to GitHub, then like everyone would write their own message, kind of detailing what they changed about that repository. And so you'd be able to keep up on what aspects of the website people changed. And so I think you just click I. Yeah, so you just click I, and then it'll be like in the, I guess, the text entering mode. And so you can say customize, I don't know, header or something, if you just change like the top part of the website. And then to exit out of like this window, you're gonna hit escape and then colon WQ and then hit enter. And then you're gonna be back where you were before. So I'm just gonna give you a little bit of time to do that.
Yeah, and any questions? Because I know if you don't have much Git experience, I could see that being a lot of info just thrown at you. So let us know.
It's good. I'm glad to make sure that you're learning more about Git add. So you just, to run the git add command, you just type git space add space dot and then hit enter.
Yeah, and you won't see anything, like it doesn't respond, show anything once you've done that. The only way you would be able to see that is like through git status, but I don't want to throw too many commands at you. So yeah, it shouldn't, just make sure you do the period after. So like that. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why that sent so many. Just like that, not all of those periods.
And so if you guys, for those of you who are at this step, then the third command, as you can tell from the slides, would be git push. And then you just hit enter. And then it shouldn't give you any errors because nobody else is really editing that repository anyways. But yeah, you should be back where it's still, you're still in the folder. It should say Portfolio Workshop. And then it should indicate that you've merged, or pushed the changes to master. So if you don't get any errors, basically consider that a success.
Yeah, so once you've gotten that successfully pushed up to GitHub, if you could let us know some more emojis. Ooh, you're getting more creative with the emojis. Okay, so how can I move to a different file folder? I'm assuming you're talking about from the command line. So that command is cd and then the name of the folder you want to navigate to. So if it's in your documents, you'd say like cd documents. And then if you're on Mac, you can see which folder or the contents of your current folder with ls. If you're in Windows, it'd be, that's like the command if you're not sure like where you are. But yeah, you should just be able to cd and then the name of the folder you're trying to navigate to.
And so if you're already in the documents folder, do cd portfolio workshop. But if you're not in the documents folder, you need to do cd documents and then cd portfolio workshop. Command to get out of editing mode from the commit comment. So once you've like done the comment, you hit escape and then :WQ enter.
Yeah, forgot the escape part.
Cool. Okay. So now if you go back to your repository, just gonna refresh this really quick, and you should see your own commit whenever you did it, and then the comment that you wrote, it'll be right here next to your name. And so that's how you know, like, it actually pushed to the repository. And so now for the, like, I don't know, I guess the publishing part. Oh, I'm not signed in on. 1 second, let me sign in really quick.
Yeah, so one of the really cool things about GitHub that's I think been added in the last few years is GitHub Pages. So they actually let you host your own websites from GitHub. And that's really cool because you can have your code and the place you're hosting the website from in the same place. In the past, that had to be done in 2 separate places, so it was really annoying. But GitHub added this feature, and it makes it really cool. So both like the SweetUTD website and the WeHack website are being hosted from GitHub.
Yeah.
And it's free too, which is also very nice. Yeah, the hosting is free. I know, right? Like you can have something on the internet for free. I think it's so cool. The one thing that might cost money is domain names, but we'll talk about that.
So, yeah, like I said, you can just go to the 4th version of the portfolio workshop. You'll see your name and click the comment. And then go to settings. Yeah, you want to make sure you're logged into GitHub because I wasn't, but now I am. And then once you hit settings, you scroll down, and then you might not see this on your page, but it'll have like a section like this called GitHub Pages. And so what you want to do is you want to set the source to master, and then this should be like /root, and then hit save. And so once you hit save, it'll say, instead of this bar being green, it'll be blue, I think, and it'll say like your site is ready to be published at your username.github.io/portfolio workshop. And so if you just wait like a few minutes, it should be green. You might just have to refresh the page too if it takes a little bit. But that link basically takes you to your website. And so this is like the published version of the website. And so once you pushed your changes, it basically changed the actual repository. And you can keep doing that and keep editing your code and then pushing those changes again. And then it'll show up on the actual link. So any questions there?
And once you guys have done that, it'd be really cool if you could send the links to your websites in the chat because it's on the internet, so we can all access them.
Yeah, and so GitPages, it lets you host it for free. So what we were saying that might cost money is like the domain name. So let's say instead of like your username.github.io/portfolio workshop, you just wanted yourname.com or something. So assuming that's not taken, you would buy that domain and put it here. But we're going to talk about that.
Oh, we got our first link. Let's see. Yay, awesome.
Love that.
That's so cool. Yeah. Opening and okay, one way to avoid that, Abigail, if you can, when you do commit, you can put your message like, because then it shouldn't open anything. Try doing that, like the -m and then put your message when, like do that all in one. So you can try that. But yeah, I just think it's so cool, like to me, how easy it is to get things on the internet now. Like the fact that you can do this in an hour and it's completely free, like why wouldn't you have a portfolio website? Like everyone should have one. And also like you can use this to really impress people who aren't in computer science because if like I know I tell people like, oh yeah, if you go to KDB, like I tell them my website and then they can just like pull it up and I don't know, it seems really impressive to people who don't know how easy it's actually become to get websites up. Oh, yay. Okay, good.
That's good. And so yeah, Katie, do you want to talk a little bit more about like customizing your domain name?
Yeah, sure. So one thing that's really cool with your .edu email address that you have from UT Dallas, you can actually get a free domain name from namecheap.com. The actual link is nc.me to be taken to their, um, well, a DT. I'll look at that in a second, but so yeah, Namecheap, if you put in your UT Dallas email, you can get a free domain name that ends in .me. So they don't give you like .com for free, but you can have .me. Like mine is kdb.me. I like it because it rhymes, but anyways, yeah, so if you go to nc.me, could you go to nc.me? That takes it to specifically the college part.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's where you get your domain. And then I also have this really useful tutorial for connecting it to your GitHub pages. We don't have time to like go through it today because you guys would have to register your domain name first, but it's really not difficult. Yeah, I just sent an article in the chat, and that shows you how to actually configure a domain with GitHub pages because there's like a few steps you need to take within Namecheap, but it's super simple, and I think it's really cool because it makes you look really professional to have like your own domain name rather than the .github.io. And there's nothing wrong with the .github.io. I just think it's a cool thing you can take advantage of with your student email. Yeah, so you'll have to go into, once you configure it with Namecheap, you also have to go back to the settings of your repository and change it to your new domain name. But again, that article covers all of that, and it's not too difficult. But yeah, if you guys try to do that and have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I've helped a few people do this already. And because I always tell people about Namecheap, I just think it's really cool that you can get your own domain name for free. But yeah, if you guys are trying to do that, you can, my name's Katie Baltz. I'm like, in all the SWE group meets and things like that. I'm sure you can find me. If not, you can always email SWEUTD, like say, get me in contact with Katie, because I can definitely help you out with that.
Yeah, and so let's say I purchased this domain, like ankita.me. I will just go back to settings, which is actually in Chrome. And then here it says like you can put your custom domain other than like your username and GitHub. And so I would just put like ankita.me and then hit save. I didn't buy this domain, so I don't know. Oh, okay, I guess it saved it, but it's not actually gonna work because
Yeah.
I didn't buy it and configure it. But if you go to that article that Katie sent in the group chat, it'll tell you how to actually link this page to your actual domain. Yeah, and that's what it takes to publish your website. So, does anyone have any more questions? Any go backs?
Yeah, this can be about anything, just websites in general. Yeah, and then the career fair, intern fair, that's tomorrow. So, okay. So, were you able to commit successfully, Abigail? Okay. So the next command after you've committed, from that same location in your terminal, you're going to do git push. The recording will be up either tonight or tomorrow. And that'll be up on the SWE website, and I believe also on YouTube. I think we're going to be adding these to YouTube as well. But yeah, definitely on the SWE portal if you have an account. And I'll try and get it up tonight, maybe tomorrow.
So Abigail, these are the three commands that you go through to push it. Of course. And so quick shout out to WeHack. So like I said, WeHack is coming up this October, in actually like a month. And so you just go to wehackutd.com. A bunch of like computer scientists and like members of SWE, I guess, you don't have to be a comp sci major, we came together to form like the web development committee for WeHack, and then made this website from scratch. And so just like hit apply and apply to WeHack. I promise it's going to be fun. It's all virtual, but there's going to be a lot of workshops and a lot of speakers, and just it's going to be a really good learning experience. So I highly recommend applying.
Yes, you can use your newfound web development skills for a hack. But go ahead.
Sorry, I actually have a question about WeHack. I was actually applying, but then it asked for my resume, and I don't have one right now. And I know that you guys do like forward the resume to like employers and all that. So can I skip that step for now and then just share my resume with you guys later? Is that an option?
Yeah, so you can always apply right now just so that you get the response email back to say that you're accepted, and then you get the link to WeHack. And then you can just fill out the form again if you have your resume.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And then someone asked if we would recommend modifying the template or actually trying to make your own website. I would say if you have like the skills, making your own website can be a way for you to really personalize it and also like show off your web skills, like so that your website kind of becomes a project in itself that you can show off. There's definitely like if you don't have web development experience, like using a template's totally fine. Yeah, like I made my own just because it was fun and it let me like really do whatever all the customization I wanted. So if you have the time and the experience, I definitely would recommend that. But also this template's a really nice looking template, so no one's going to judge you for using that. And then Abigail, in terms of the GitHub credentials, I don't know why it wouldn't take your Google account login, because yeah, I guess you would need to configure Git with your account. Let me
If you
think.
go to GitHub, like the website, look at your username, and then you might have to use that instead of your email to log in.
That's right, yeah. One other thing, if you're still having trouble and want to publish it, if you go directly to your repository on the website, you can actually go in and modify your index.html there. Like if you just copied it over from what you did locally. Obviously that's more like annoying because you have to like go in and edit the file, but it would have the same effect of like updating it. So if you're stuck there, I want you to still be able to publish it. But then you would also have to upload your resume to GitHub. So it just would take longer than it would if you're able to connect. Let me see if Google says anything. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have, completed all those steps, you don't have any more questions, we're getting close to time, so you're welcome to go. And thank you for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. And best of luck with the intern fair tomorrow if you're attending, and just the intern recruitment process in general. I'm sure a lot of you guys are, looking to start that or already in the process. So.
Yeah, you guys got this.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just stick around a little bit if you have any more questions.
Yep.
Make sure to apply for WeHack.
Yeah, WeHack's coming up fast. Is it less than a month away now?
Yeah, it's actually exactly a month.
Okay.
It's October 10th and 11th.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and Abigail, you can let us know if you've made any progress on that issue. Oh, and I guess I'll stop the recording here. So goodbye if anyone's watching this recorded.
All right.